for the first time ever.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is SOHEB and you're watching Wrestling Fact.
10 first time WWE matches we can't wait to see. Number 10. Gunther vs Riddle. These two men have mixed up many times on the indies scenes before signing with WWE and recently have clashed in a 6-man tag team action in NXT 2.0. However, they have never had a one-on-one match under the WWE banner. In their matchup for Progress and WXW among other promotions, they have beat the daylight out of each other. This is no surprise as both of their styles and hard hitting at agility. It's truly AWE inspiring to imagine what their jets would like after Gunther's shock and Riddle's kick. Number 9. Gable Stevenson vs Chad Gable. Once Gable Stevenson make his debut, this match will happen right with two Olympian wrestlers in the same company. It writes itself. Kurt Angles is retired and similarly styling that way, so it looks like gold medalist versus gold medalist won't be happening. This is easily the next best things. This should happen early on in Stevenson's career, and it should happen multiple times as Chad would be able to teach Stevenson how to make the transition from amateur to professional wrestling look smooth. Oh yeah, and these two both have Gable in their names, and WWE will either love or hate that. Number 8. Seth Rollins vs Ricochet. It's kind of mind-blowing that this match hasn't happened yet. Rollins has now been on the main roster for the 10 years. Wow. And Ricochet is in his 4th year. These men both have high-flying style, and Rollins is also exceptional as striking. Remember Adam Cole vs Ricochet at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4. This match would be that, but with less super kicks. Ricochet and the Visionary have been in multi-man matches together before, but never one-on-one, and that need to change ASAP. Number 7. AJ Styles vs Edge. If this match hadn't already been announced for WrestleMania this April, it would have been top 3 on this list. That doesn't change the fact that this match should be one for the ages. This would have been a great match if it was babyface versus babyface, but Edge has recently turned heel, and this now has the making of an all-time level contest. The way the feud has played out, it would be turned into no disqualification match, but they don't need that stipulation. If WWE gives these men about 20 minutes, WrestleMania Sunday will be there is two still. Number 6. Bianca Belair vs Asuka. The East of WWE has publicly stated that when Asuka returns, she wants to face her. It's surprising these two women have never faced one another, but this would be a PPV main event. Belair has established herself as a cornerstone of the women's division for the next decade, and the Empress of Tomorrow is one of those already. Asuka has been injured and off TV since last summer, but when she comes back, this should be a program booked immediately. Maybe Belair wins against Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, and the Raw after Mania. Asuka return and set up a feud for the next PPV. Number 5. Sasha Banks vs Rhea Ripley. Sasha Banks is a cross-platform star. She's been in the Medorian Hot Ones, the hype package for the college football national championship, and much more. Rhea Ripley is the next big thing for WWE Women's Division. They now been on the main roster together for over a year and have clashed in triple threat action in the past. However, the world needs the Boss vs Ripley. Both are world-class in-ring workers and stark contrast in personality and styles would make for a exceptional feud between the two. NXT roots and success on the main roster to follow each the backstory. Number 4. Big E vs Brock Lesnar. Big E vs Brock Lesnar will realistically only ever take place on an episode of Raw or SmackDown due to WWE's recent treatment of Big E. Unfortunately, with Big E out for the foreseeable future with a broken neck, it's hard to say if this match will ever happen. If it did happen, this still has the making of an amazing horse fist. The two big men mixed it up in the 2020 Men's Royal Rumble match and at day 1, but never one-on-one. When they clashed previously, it was brief, but accepting their eventual singles match probably would go over 10 minutes, but it would be non-stop action. If Big E eventually make his return to ring while Brock Lesnar is still under contract, there is still an outside chance this match can happen somewhere down the line. Number 3. John Cena vs Drew McIntyre. The former face of WWE and the potential future face of WWE seems to have put Drew McIntyre on the back burner now that they are only making sure Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar are the only male main eventers in the company. But when they put their mind to it, McIntyre has all the making to be the top babyface in the company. McIntyre has WWE champion both times during the pandemic. All the hard work he put in was all to platform in front of screens. A feud with him and the 16-time world champion John Cena for the WWE Championship is a WrestleMania main event. Cena and McIntyre would put together an epic clash of titans. Number 2. Becky Lynch vs Ronda Rousey. Lynch vs Rousey should have been the main event of WrestleMania 35, but Charlotte Flair was added. The resulting match was a good match, all important in cementing Becky Lynch as the man. Fans still yearn for Lynch vs Rousey in singles competition, and when the match happens, Lynch will need to be the babyface. Rousey seems to be sticking around after WrestleMania, and that would be the perfect scenario to build this match to next year's WrestleMania. Big time backs would slowly turn babyface and Rousey slowly turn heel, where they would main event WrestleMania in Hollywood next year. Number 1. Roman Reigns vs Bron Breakker. Speaking of potential future WrestleMania main events, don't be surprised to see these two men facing each other on a WrestleMania poster. Bron Breakker has recently lost the NXT Championship to Dolph Ziggler, and after debuting on Raw recently accepted Breakker to be a main roster mainstay after NXT 2.0 stand and deliver. He is a young machine and should be groomed to face off against the head of the table. Reigns is on the run of a lifetime, and when WWE decide to slow him down, who's to say Breakker wouldn't be the one to knock him off the top?